Hi, it's Miss Holland here, and I'm going to introduce you to the choices that you have this week for Visual Art 1. So this is for Miss Hinkie and Miss Holland's classes. In the planner, you'll see a link to this document, which is your Visual Art 1 choice board for April 27th through May the 8th. And at the top is the video that you're watching now, and you have your due dates right here. And each of these two projects include 3 different assignments that are due, 2 formative grades, and then the summative grade, which is the project itself, okay? So after you watch this video, you can go and look at these individual projects and decide which one you would like to do. So we're gonna take a look at the Zentangle project first. The Zentangle project, I can't really present, so we're just going to go like this. All right, Zentangle is a drawing activity. You're going to learn about what Zentangle is, the vocabulary related to it, examples of pattern, project description, and some inspiration. So if you haven't ever done Zentangle, it is an abstract drawing created by using a repetitive pattern. Drawing a Zentangle can be relaxing, it's entertaining, all of those things. I was going to try to see if I couldn't zoom into here, but I can't. Okay. All right. So here are some examples. If you go through here and the different vocabulary that is related to Zentangle. Part 1 is the practice part, and you do this in your sketchbook. And you're going to use a sketchbook to draw 10 shapes to practice within. They can be squares, circle, organic shapes. Doesn't really matter. It can be 10 of the same shapes, or it can be 10 different shapes. The only requirement is that the shapes are a minimum of 1.5 inches in any direction. And that's so that you have enough area to fill in with pattern. You'll choose 10 different patterns from the following pages that I'll show you in just a second to practice, a different one in each shape. And you can use pencil or pen, it really doesn't matter. You'll take a photo of your page, and I'll tell you when that due date is in a minute. There's also a video here of how to do it. So if you choose this project, you can watch this video for an explanation. So here are some of the practice patterns here. And there's several pages of them in the presentation, and this is linked on that Google document, okay? The next thing you're going to do for Zentangle is the planning, and this is also part of your sketchbook, and this is part of that first due date grade. And this, you're going to have, you have 3 options provided to help you get started with the design to create your Zentangle in. You actually have 4 options. So I'm going to fix that right now. So the 4 options are strings, animal, people, and objects. So in your sketchbook, you need to brainstorm an idea for each category and do a thumbnail for each sketch. And just like the previous page, there's a link right here with this video that shows you how to do it. I did an example, talked about how to activate the space. You should watch this if you're doing this project, okay, for this step. Now, after part 2, then I have the inspiration linked in here, and there's string inspiration, there's some designs, there's people, animals was another option, objects was an option. So those are all your inspirations. So then we get into getting started. So you choose this project. These are the supplies that you need. You don't need all of these. You need one of these, okay? And this kind of works from, all of these pens work. The micro pen or the Prisma pens are what we would have used in the classroom. So the best pens are towards the end. So if you have the Micron or the Prisma pen, I would use that. If you have a fine point marker, like this ultra fine Sharpie, I would use that if I didn't have a Micron or Prisma pen. If I don't have either one of these, I would choose a felt tip pen. If I don't have that, I would use a ballpoint pen last. That would be your last option. Everybody should have a ballpoint pen at home. It can be done with a ballpoint pen. It will just look better if you use one of these other ones, but it still works fine, okay? You'll need a pencil. A mechanical pencil is fine, and you'll need your sketchbook, or you'll need a white sheet of paper that's at least 7 by 10 inches. That's the minimum size for this project. Once you have your supplies together, the steps are to do your pencil contour drawing of the design concept you choose. Regardless of the option that you choose, the 4 different ones, you need to start with a light pencil drawing that serves as a guide. You need to mark off those sections, everything like that. Create the spaces that you'll fill with Zentangle patterns lightly. Use a pen to begin adding your patterns and be sure to use a variety of patterns. When you finish filling the patterns, then you go over the lines at the end. All right. So the lines that you made for the sections in step 2, you don't go over until step 4. All right. It just helps make it cleaner. Here are the due dates. These are the same for both projects, but just the due dates for each thing. Your first due date, Wednesday, April 30th, is the sketchbook work. The second due date is May the 5th, and that's a progress photo. This should be the full pencil drawing of your plan and should have some of the patterns filled in. And then the final project is due Friday, May the 8th. Where do you turn it in? If you're in Miss Hinkey's class, you're going to turn it into Google Classroom. If you're in my class, Miss Holland's class, you're going to turn it in on It's Learning. Okay? So that's the Zentangle project. Let's take a look at the environmental art project. So with each of these choice boards, you have a 2D project and a 3D project to choose from. The Zentangle is the 2D and the environmental art is the 3D. So let's take a look. So this is the first slide, and for this task you also have 3 assignments due, 2 formative and a summative. You have an artist research page, which is 1 full page in your sketchbook. You have a project planning proposal page where you're planning out your idea, and then you have your finished photos of your installation. Okay? There's a video here where Miss Hinkey explains the project in depth that you'll need to watch if you do this project. Ephemeral environmental art installation. Ephemeral means it's temporary. That means if you do an environmental art installation outside, it's not going to last forever. It's temporary. The weather, the time, it's going to decay or go away based on that. Okay. These are the 3 things again that we've already talked about. It does say for the final piece, the summative grade is number 3. Create your installation and take 4 photos from different vantage point, including one close-up of an area of interest. Okay, so make sure you have 4 photos for that final one. This goes over the artist research page. It's 1 sketchbook page. You're going to choose an artist from this list. Some use only natural materials, while others create work that's installed in a natural environment. These are the things that you need to include on your research page. The name of the artist you chose, 2 color drawings of installations that the artist has created, a list of materials that the artist typically uses, 5 biographical facts about the artist and their messages, and then design elements that coordinate with your artist's work that fill your empty spaces. And there's some examples of, or there is an example of an artist research page at the end of this. So let's look at each of these artists. So the first one is Andy Goldsworthy. And this is just leaves. So there's like really bright yellow leaves closer to the trunk of this tree. And he kind of fades them out. It almost looks like it's on fire, doesn't it? Same thing here. It's just leaves changing color. Richard Schilling. So he uses leaves as well. He's constructed them into boxes here. Here he's laid them out flat, and he has used some color variation as well. Walter Mason also uses a lot of leaves, but it looks like he's maybe added some elements here, or he's poked holes in it. Christo and Jean-Claude, they're known for adding unnatural materials into a natural environment and closing it in. Robert Smithson, Edith Musnier, so she's adding items to the environment. All right, and here's an example of an artist research page. So what we talked about, the things you need to include, I especially want to talk about these design elements that coordinate with your artist's work that fill the empty spaces. So you can have all of this information, but then to fill in the empty spaces, you can see on this page, they had leaves and flowers and things that Andy Goldsworthy would use in his work to fill in those empty spaces. They even use leaves here as kind of the bullet points of the biographical facts. So thinking about those design elements as you create that page. Your project planning page is a 1 page for your own installation. It must use natural materials, but you can alter the materials. So you can like sew leaves together weave branches together. You can paint on the leaves or the stones, that kind of thing. You should create a detailed drawing of your plan after walking around outside to see where you want to work and what you have to work with. Okay, make sure you jot down some notes and explain your plan and the location. All right, this is due on May the 5th. This is the second formative grade that is due for you for this project. And then here is some student work. This is due Friday, May the 8th. When you finish your installation, remember you should take 4 photos. One should be close up and they should be 4 different vantage points. Don't take 4 from the same place. Okay? All right, so those are your 2 projects. Let's go back over here just to refresh you with the page here. These are your projects. These are the presentations we just looked at that you can use and what you need. You know you can email us on It's Learning, either Miss Hinkie or myself, Miss Holland. If you have any questions or you need clarifications, the due dates are also listed here, and they're the same for both projects. Okay, so make sure you hit these due dates and turn them in. Again, Miss Hinkie's stuff gets turned in on Google Classroom, and Miss Holland's stuff gets turned in on It's Learning. I do want to look really quickly at some of the work that was turned in last week, because I know part of being in an art class is kind of getting to see what everybody else is working on, and y'all are missing out on that right now. So I wanted to share some pieces with you that were turned in from the last project. So this is a cardboard sculpture. One of the portraits. So she did a great job on her shading. And here's another cardboard sculpture. And look at that attention with the wings. Look at that. All those little wings, all those little feathers are individual that she attached. Or he. I'm not really sure. It's one of Miss Hinkie's kids. And here's another cardboard one. Great job combining kind of portrait and the idea of the cardboard sculpture. Another cardboard sculpture. I love the texture on this one and all the shapes coming out of the cardboard here. Just did a fantastic eye again, kind of combining that portraiture and the things that we learned on the practice. Here's another cardboard sculpture. It's like a castle. A lot of texture happening here too. Here's one of the portraits. It's just a fantastic job. I don't know if it's a self-portrait. It's one of Miss Hinkie's students. Another one. Some great job with the hair and the value added there. Here's another portrait where they did the close-ups of different sections and enlarged them. This is one of my favorites. It's a cardboard and a portrait, and we all know this Steve Carell. There we go. Lots of fun. Here's another portrait with the enlarged things here. Here's another cardboard project. She did a tornado, and the house is falling apart, and used some colors in here. I don't know if that's, I think it's cardboard as well. I like how the individual papers are attached. Another portrait. And here's a great cardboard sculpture. Desert scene. It's been painted and added, and I love the framing aspect of that. So, we really miss you guys. Really miss you guys. Wish we were in school. Love seeing your work when you turn it in. Love seeing the progress pictures. And if you need anything, please send us an email. If you want to have a video chat with either one of us, send us a message in It's Learning and say, I need some clarification. You know, can we have a Google Meet? And either one of us are more than happy to schedule that with you. So please know we're here for you. We know this is an unusual situation, and we just want you to have some time to create and learn some new skills. So can't wait to see what you do with these 2 projects and which one you choose. So I hope you guys have a great week, and check in with us if you need us. Stay safe, and we miss you guys.